bro, it's shit
Listen,
crazy.
being a hip-hop CEO, I think, is the most...
CEO, your artist might turn on you.
It's the most thankless job ever.
Motherfuckers don't make the right records, they gonna blame you. Bro,
Every
this shit
time.
is crazy,
Look what you're
bro.
going through right now.
We thought we'd seen every kind of hip-hop scandal, until tonight. What started as a quiet studio night in Dallas has turned into the most shocking betrayal in 1017 history. The kind of twist you'd expect in a movie, not on security footage. The video that just leaked doesn't show a fight, it shows a takeover. Gucci Mane, the self-proclaimed trap god, getting stripped of $500,000 in jewelry by someone who used to call him Big Bro. It's surreal, it's brutal, and it's sparking questions nobody wants to ask out loud. How does a mentor celebrating his artist's homecoming end up humiliated in his own building? And if this footage is real, and insiders swear it is, then what we're watching isn't just a robbery. It's revenge wrapped in loyalty, and it might be the beginning of the end for Gucci's empire.
That ain't how I go.
Yeah, but
I guarantee you, Walker C, Slick Puller, they gonna hit.
yeah.
ASAP. Ain't no.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Gucci reaching in your pocket now.
Great, straight going
What's
straight.
going on over there?
I have just been promoted to I'm the shooter's boss now. I don't have to do that.
We didn't want to believe it. After all, Gucci just celebrated Shiesty's early release from prison 3 months ago like a proud mentor. The man literally tweeted, "The main slime is back," with a smile big enough to melt diamonds. Fans took it as a victory for loyalty, Gucci holding down his artist through the storm, showing that 1017 still meant family. But now, that same celebration feels like foreshadowing, because the very person he welcomed home with open arms apparently came back for payback. The question spinning through everyone's minds wasn't just why. It was, when did it all start to rot? The first real crack showed up months earlier, right after Big Scar's funeral. That was when everything between Gucci and his Memphis artists started to feel off. Scar's family went public, saying Gucci only sent 10 grand to help with costs, barely enough for flowers. They said he blocked their calls, disappeared when they needed him most. That video of Scar's sister calling him out still makes the rounds. "My brother was worth more than 10,000, she said, voice shaking with anger. And in that moment, Gucci's reputation as the reformed, generous boss started to flicker. Fans defended him at first, but the streets remembered how close Shiesty and Scar were. They weren't label mates, they were brothers. And betrayal like that doesn't disappear, it festers.
You just probably want to lay down with the queen and you good.
I wanted to out hustle everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to take my career to another level. I want to take my finances to another level. I just wanted to step my whole life up. You know what I'm saying? I want to step my look up. I wanted to recreate my record label from ground up, because all my artists, they had, did separate deals. I had worked that out for them because I couldn't help them.
Right. Damn.
By the time Shiesty got released, insiders claim he was already distant. No celebratory reunion pics, no studio selfies, no public shout-outs from his side. Just silence. And in this industry, silence means strategy. While Gucci was out promoting his new album and memoir, the one where he opened up about being diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, Shiesty was allegedly back in Memphis, linking up with his old crew, the Choppa Gang, the same guys who'd been holding his name down while he was behind bars. They'd seen what happened to Big Scar, and they weren't about to let that slide. One insider said straight up, "It wasn't about jewelry, it was about principle." But in this world, principle gets expressed in diamonds and humiliation. The studio confrontation is what everyone keeps replaying now, second by second, like it's the Zapruder film of hip-hop betrayal. Gucci sitting there in his designer shades mid-sentence, while Pooh walks in without warning. No handshake, no hug, just tension. You can feel it even without audio. The body language tells the story. Pooh standing stiff, eyes locked, jaw tight. Gucci gesturing, trying to talk him down, maybe even apologize, but it's too late. People close to Shiesty say that whole conversation was theater. He wasn't there to reconcile, he was setting the stage. Outside, in the parking lot, his crew was waiting, engines running, headlights off. They'd done their homework. And when Gucci stepped outside after that heated argument, it was over before he could blink. 2 men jumped out of a black SRT, faces covered, weapons drawn, movements tight and professional. They didn't shout, they didn't hesitate. They went straight for the watch and the ring, the ones Gucci was known to flaunt like trophies. The same ring his wife, Kishia Kawar, had designed for their wedding, and the same Patek Philippe that symbolized everything about his new, sober, family man image. Gone. Just like that. The video cuts right as one of them flashes the stolen ring toward the camera. Cold. Intentional. Like a signature.
All you got to do is pick up a phone or run into somebody and everybody want to work with you.
It was good because, a lot of times before I left, I wasn't really nurturing relationships with people in the business. I didn't respect it.
Right.
I didn't care. I was kind of like closed in. Me and the people who I've worked with, my circle, everything else, I wouldn't want to come to the radio.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to do no feature.
Damn, I didn't know that because you came. He was probably sitting there like,
When Seti Nash uploaded his breakdown, that's when the rumor became a movement. Gucci Mane just got stripped by his own artist, he said, voice heavy with disbelief. The clip racked up 500,000 views in hours, and Nash swore up and down his sources were legit. He claimed the robbery was a calculated setup, not a random hit. And the wild part? He was careful not to name Pooh Shiesty directly, because Shiesty's still on federal supervision, and if any of this sticks, it's conspiracy charges waiting to happen. But fans didn't need his name spelled out. The internet's a detective when it wants to be. Within hours, people matched voices, vehicles, even timestamps. They were convinced. Gucci, meanwhile, went silent. No tweets, no posts, not even a cryptic caption. And that's not like him. Usually he'd jump online to address rumors before breakfast. But now, nothing. Just silent air and speculation. Some think it's damage control, others say it's something darker. Because remember, Gucci's been open about his mental health battles, how his wife literally takes away his social media when he's in an episode. And that's where this story starts feeling less like a robbery and more like a full circle collapse. The man who wrote about hearing voices and fighting delusions might now be living through his worst one yet, betrayal by the person he believed was his protege. Industry insiders are split. Some call it karma, pointing back to the stories from Gucci's own book, how he used to give away jewelry during manic episodes, how people around him would take advantage while pretending to care. The cruel irony isn't lost on anyone. He once said on air that during his breakdowns, he'd hand out luxury watches and gold chains just to feel in control. Now, he's watching someone take it all by force, on camera, and the world's calling it justice. Others aren't so sure. They say Shiesty's move might have been fueled by loyalty to a fallen brother, but it crossed every code in the book. You don't rob the man who made you, unless, of course, the man who made you isn't the same man anymore.
Gucci, when you first hear people say, oh man, it went down from like, oh, Gucci's oh, they released a different Gucci from prison and so on and so forth. What do you think when you first see something where people saying, oh, Gucci Mane is cloned?
It really doesn't surprise me, man, because I always been an enigma.
Right, hello.
And I always been just, like, I always been so many rumors about him. I feel like
that old clone theory, the one everyone laughed off back in 2016, it's creeping back into the conversation again. The internet's dusting off those side-by-side photos, saying this calm, quiet Gucci isn't the real one. That maybe the clone finally got exposed as too soft for the streets he once ruled. It sounds crazy, but this is hip-hop gossip. Logic isn't part of the package. What matters is perception, and right now, Gucci looks like prey in his own empire. People are already circulating freeze frames of him walking out of that studio without his jewelry, captioned, "The day the ice cream melted." It's brutal, but the memes don't care. Still, under all the noise, something about this doesn't add up. Security footage from the studio shows no alarm, no guards, no real protection for a multimillionaire who knows he's a target. That's either arrogance or exhaustion. Some sources whisper that Gucci's mental state had been slipping again in the weeks leading up to the incident. Erratic texts, missed calls, sudden isolation. His wife reportedly flew out the morning after the robbery, and she's been silent ever since too. It's giving crisis mode. Fans think she's doing what she's always done, shutting everything down before the public sees another episode. But here's the twist no one saw coming. Hours after the footage went viral, one of the stolen pieces resurfaced online. Not through a pawn shop or police report, but through an Instagram story from someone tied to Choppa Gang. Quick flash, low lighting, but the internet caught it. The same diamond ring, unmistakable. Then the story vanished within minutes. No caption, no flex, just proof of life. People started asking if this was part of some bigger humiliation ritual, a warning to Gucci that his power's slipping, and the more you look at it, the more it feels coordinated, almost ceremonial. Like someone wanted to make sure the world knew who really runs things now.
No one knew that. Like, I'm way more mature, I'm way nicer, I'm just not the same just mean person that I used to be. I used to be just always like, kind of like pessimistic, you know what I'm saying? Now I ain't pessimistic, now I'm optimistic.
The streets are eating it up, but the industry's nervous. This isn't just about a ring and a watch. It's about a legacy cracking in real time. Gucci built 1017 as the label of loyalty, a family of street survivors who made it out and stayed solid. But now, his top artist just flipped the script, and the label looks like it's bleeding from the inside. Other artists are already moving quiet, wiping mentions, ghosting group chats. Everyone's watching to see who speaks up first.
You know what's crazy about this, man, is that it's still Gucci Mane, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not, yeah, and I love it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm always be myself, because, like, when I was doing the things I was doing, that was me. I wasn't putting no cut on it. I was just, if I had a problem with somebody, I would say it. Everything, I was just a walking just spokesman for just being brutally honest.
We can all agree something about that footage didn't just feel violent. It felt personal. You could almost sense that this wasn't about the jewelry or the money or even the power move. It was about humiliation. It was about striking at the part of Gucci that still believed loyalty could survive fame. But once the adrenaline faded and the headlines hit, people started asking a harder question. How did Gucci Mane, the man who built a trap empire from chaos, let his own team get close enough to play him like that? That's where the story starts turning dark, because insiders are whispering that the Gucci we've seen lately isn't the same one who used to move like a warlord. This version of him is clean, calm, reflective, almost too peaceful for the world he created. Some say that peace made him vulnerable, others say that's not Gucci at all. What's wild is these cracks didn't appear overnight. We've all watched Gucci rebuild himself in front of us. The weight loss, the sobriety, the focus on family, the soft interviews. But behind the smiles, he's been public about something most rappers never admit: his diagnoses. Bipolar disorder, paranoid schizophrenia, manic episodes, hearing voices. We heard him say it himself during his Breakfast Club interview just a few months ago, telling Charlemagne, "I gave away jewelry. Jewelry costs so much. I gave my friends jewelry, and they knew I wasn't well. They'd take it." That one line hit different now, because if the man admits he used to hand out diamonds during an episode, what stops someone from taking advantage again, this time when he's not even aware it's happening? And once those interviews went viral, the sharks started circling. According to people close to the label, Gucci's openness about his mental health made some of his artists uncomfortable. They didn't know which version of him they were dealing with, the calm mentor or the unpredictable boss who might lash out or disappear for weeks. Add that to his wife's confession that she deletes his social media when he's not himself. And suddenly it's clear why certain conversations never made it to the public eye. The man who once called himself the trap god was being babysat by his inner circle. And in the world of street respect, that's the kind of vulnerability that invites rebellion.
You get one of these every generation.
Right.
And I'm that one.
Okay, and you cool with it though?
I love it.
You wasn't walking in places like I'm here, I'm alive, and trying to prove it to everybody.
Nah, man, you need people to watch you.
I heard that.
You know what I'm saying? You do the music for it to be heard. You want it to be shared. You want people to appreciate it. And at the same time, you want people to be fascinated by you. I want people to be fascinated by me.
We started digging, and what we found was chilling. Around at the same time, Gucci was promoting his new book, Episodes: The Diary of a Recovering Madman. Fans noticed a shift in the tone of his posts. Less ice, more introspection. He was talking about accountability, therapy, energy. Meanwhile, 1,017 artists were quietly venting in group chats and DMs, calling the label cold, corporate, and unreachable. One insider claims that after Pooh Shiesti's release, there were promises of new studio budgets that never came through. Another source swears Gucci started ghosting artists who didn't match his new clean image. In other words, the same man who once built 1,017 on chaos had started filtering his empire like a wellness brand. And to some of the old crew, that wasn't evolution, it was betrayal.
How many welcome, not even a number, but you gotta hear welcome home, welcome back, welcome, good to see you again. You know what I'm saying? Because you one of those cats, man, you've always been 100,000 with everybody, with me, whoever it may be, man. And when I got the Will You interview, I was like, hell yeah, I bring Gucci into the neighborhood.
Now layer that over the tragedy of Big Scar. That funeral became a symbol of everything wrong between Gucci and his roster. The family said he only sent $10,000 for flowers. Gucci said it was 20. Either way, the damage was done. The public saw coldness. Shiesty saw disrespect. And when he confronted Gucci in Dallas, that resentment had already fermented into something dangerous. But here's the twist no one wants to talk about. People close to Gucci claim he'd been showing signs of another episode that week. Withdrawn, tense, sending short, cryptic texts. His wife wasn't there to monitor him. His bodyguards were allegedly dismissed early. So was the robbery really a setup? Or did it unfold in the perfect storm of a mental break and bad timing? When that theory hit Reddit, fans lost their minds. One camp swore this was the old Gucci finally getting karma for years of exploitation. Another camp argued the opposite, that his condition made him an easy target for revenge. Then came the strangest wave of all, the clone truthers. You remember the old rumors? That the slim, soft-spoken Gucci who came home from prison in 2016 wasn't real, that he'd been replaced by some government-engineered replica. It was meme territory back then, pure internet comedy. But after the scandal, the theory resurfaced with a vengeance. A viral TikTok showed a side-by-side of Gucci from last year versus footage from the studio incident, pointing out differences in his speech patterns, even the way he blinked. The caption read, "Maybe they didn't rob Gucci, maybe they exposed the clone." And as absurd as that sounds, it gained traction. Because the truth is, people never stopped missing the old, unpredictable Gucci, the man who fought his own demons with gold chains and chaos. The new Gucci, the clean one, just doesn't fit the world that built him. That's what makes this whole situation so symbolic. The old street spirit of 1017 colliding with the new sanitized image. When Shiesty allegedly took that jewelry, it wasn't just robbery, it was rebellion. A way of saying, you forgot where you came from. And in the twisted logic of street loyalty, that's the ultimate payback. Meanwhile, other 1,017 members started acting nervous online. A few quietly deleted pictures with Gucci. A couple unfollowed him altogether. Even Big Scar's name started trending again, framed as the martyr whose passing triggered the collapse. Industry veterans were quick to jump in with their takes, that Gucci's leadership was slipping, that his mental health revelations scared off investors, that 1017 was on the verge of imploding. A longtime producer allegedly said, "It's like he's managing two people, Bradrick and Gucci. One's in therapy, the other's still in the trap." That line alone tells you everything about how divided his world has become. But we can't ignore what's happening to Gucci's public image right now. Since that video leaked, he's gone quiet. No posts, no statements, not even a denial. Just silence. And silence in this game speaks volumes. His wife has been spotted wearing her ring, but Gucci's hand is bare. A fan photo from a Memphis hotel lobby shows him looking thinner, distracted, eyes lost somewhere far away. It's got people wondering if we're watching another breakdown unfold in real time. Maybe he's protecting his peace. Maybe he's spiraling. We just don't know. And that uncertainty is what keeps everyone glued to the story. Insiders are saying the 1017 office in Atlanta feels like a ghost town. Half the staff gone. Studio sessions canceled. One anonymous source told us that Gucci hasn't returned calls from key distributors in over 2 weeks. There's talk of a rebrand, maybe even a new label altogether. And here's where the conspiracy takes its final twist. A few whisper that Gucci's planning to walk away from music entirely, to focus on mental health advocacy, leaving the trap legacy behind for good. But others, the ones who really know him, laugh that off. They say if you strip away the fame, the suits, the therapy sessions, what's left is a man who still craves control. And someone like that doesn't disappear. He rebuilds.
I completely agree.
Like, bro, come on, man. Giving you a chance. You probably wouldn't even know him to be a celebrity if he didn't give him a chance.
Oh yeah, no, you could easily say that Pooh Shiesty would not be where he is on any level if Gucci didn't come in and co-sign and put that muscle behind.
Still, the question keeps hanging in the air. Was this just the downfall of one man or the slow collapse of a myth we all helped create? Every time we think we know Gucci, he flips the narrative. The robbery might have been the moment his empire cracked, but maybe it's also the moment the next version of him was born. Or maybe, just maybe, the people who betrayed him underestimated how dangerous a calm Gucci can be. So, what do we think really happened that night? A setup, a psychotic break, or the ultimate act of revenge from someone tired of playing second fiddle? Did Gucci lose control of his empire, or did he just clear the stage for a darker return? Drop your thoughts in the comments because the truth is about to surface, and it's not going to be pretty. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your loyalty close, and your rings even closer.